Bublynn, coming in, crushing this art. Alright, we're back at it with Taurus moon, Capricorn sun. So this is someone with a trine in their birth chart, right? So yeah, straight up two earth elements, right? So if we just work straight off the earth, this is someone that's coming from and acting in a place where they just want to stick with what they know, right? What they're doing, what's going to make sense to them, right? What they can rely on. Because more Capricorn's going to be bringing new things into being, but it still is like, this is something that is going to help me gain security, right? I'm not just bringing any old thing into being. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense for where I'm coming from. So that's where like the past element comes too, because it's like when I bring this into being, it's not going to just like drop out of existence. It's going to stay, you know what I mean? So that's like a lot of what the actions would bring to is like that. But either way, so we have someone that's very dry, right? And very like, in the past, like very practical, right? That would be like the past element. Like what's going to hold up would be like a very strong like key word in this person's life, you know what I mean? And then we just have the dry element. This person's not going to care what anybody else says, like by any means necessary, like just like what the fuck, like let me do me. Because it's like you're coming from a place where you're just fixed in what you love, you know what I mean? Like you've fallen for what you've fallen for and you want to stick with it. Like you want to just hold that, care for that, coddle that, you know what I mean? Like that's the place to be, you know what I mean? So you found that place, that's where you're coming from, you know what I mean? And now expressing in a Capricorn way would be like generating new circumstances where you can do that. So you're fixed in what you want, but you're always bringing new circumstances that may look like that. So maybe like sometimes there are like old things that you may have to sell or like move on past, because maybe like you're always bringing in new circumstances that you can get attached to and fix yourself into. Or it's just like you're always figuring out new ways to just expand on where you're coming from, you know what I mean? There's always more to it. So yeah, so I do feel like with the Mars element in the sun though, this is someone that with their actions is going to feel like they always need to be creating something, right? Like if they're not, at least during the day, right? Like if during the day they're creating, like during the night, like fuck yeah, like you know what I mean? Like they're just going to stick to them, like stick to their guns with the Mars element, right? But with the Mars element at the same time, like during the day, if this person, if like during their life isn't manifesting a lot, isn't doing a lot, like creating a lot of things that are practically going to benefit their life, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's going to hurt them, you know what I mean? Especially because they're coming from this place where they just know what they love, right? But it's not that they just know what they love, it's like they see how they can expand that in a way, you know what I mean? So it's like either they could expand that and they could have this great like grounded drive, but also it could be just this sort of like insecurity if that's not happening, right? So yeah, so anyway, they be coming from a place ruled by Venus, right? Like fixed Venus. So this would just be like lost in the light type energy, and they'd be acting in a way that's ruled by Saturn, which is trying to ground yourself. So this would be like someone that's like gonna try to ground themselves in what they love, you know what I mean? Versus like like if we had a Capricorn sun, like Aries moon, right? This is someone that's trying to ground themselves in where they're going, you know what I mean? That's not someone that's trying to ground themselves in what they love. So yeah, so that's a little bit about Taurus moon, Capricorn sun. Bublynn, Sitra, beach out.